Greetings, one and all. Greetings, one and all. Hello, everyone. This fine, what are we, Wednesday? This fine Wednesday afternoon. I guess it's evening now because I'm in Central Time and it's about 7:18. And I wanted to come with you and ask you a question. So, the title of this video is, have you recorded your grandmother's stories? Have you recorded your grandmother's stories? That's a great question. Have you? And, of course, that's on my mind because for those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Treasure Shields Redmond, and I'm a poet, performer, educator, a culture keeper, an oral historian, and I am executive director of the Community Archive, which is at thecommunityarchive.org. And what we do is we show you how to collect oral history, and we collect oral history. So right now we're in the middle of a project where we're interviewing the living descendants of survivors of the 1917 East St. Louis race massacre. But the reason why I am asking, have you collected your grandmother's stories, is because I didn't collect my grandmother's stories. Like a lot of us, during the time that my grandmother was aging, I was starting a family. I had moved away from my grandmother. I was getting to the point where I only saw her at holidays or when I would visit. And I just simply did not make it a priority. And I truly regret it. I truly regret it because a library was buried with her, as they say about our elders, and all of the wisdom, knowledge, stories, the memories. And a library was buried with her. So here recently, it came to my mind. I said, well, she does have a very knowledgeable sister who lives in North Carolina. And so I called her sister, and she didn't answer, and her daughter picked up the phone. And her daughter explained to me that she was suffering from dementia and Alzheimer's, which runs on my grandmother's side of the family, and on my mother's side of the family, and also runs on my dad's side of the family. So once again, I missed an opportunity to collect those stories from my mother's side of the family. So now I am easing up on a project with my uncle, my mother's brother, in order to recover some oral histories. Now, on my father's side of the family, I've done a great job. My dad is 85, and the way that I have preserved his oral history is by turning it into a podcast. And this is a fantastic way for you to preserve your family's oral history, because then it is accessible to everyone. But that's not the only way you can preserve oral history. Of course, there are other ways. We know the traditional way, which is to transcribe their interview and, save them in boxes, or save them in photo albums, or save them in a safety deposit box. Turn it into something else that's interactive and handleable for the family to have. Maybe even create a book, with our great publishing technology and opportunities nowadays. You could have a family history. You could have your own roots book for your family that starts at the beginning up to the current day family members. So I am hosting a class December 12th. It's a Tuesday night. 7 p.m. Central Time. It happens over Zoom, and it is a way to teach you my process of collecting oral histories. In the link below, I have a link to thecommunityarchive.org where you can go and reserve your seat in the class. And I also have a link to the first episode of the class of 1917, where I have collected the story of a descendant of the 1917 East St. Louis Race Massacre. So I cannot wait to share these experiences with you, share my expertise with you, and hear about your family stories. I want you to comment below and tell me, yes or no, have you collected your grandmother's stories?